What up? Welcome to Cool Kid TCG. Here we have a matchup today of Purple Luffy versus Yellow Enel. This is a heavily favored matchup for us. Both OP09 leaders, kind of intriguing. But the reason it's an intriguing matchup is because Enel nowadays is more like a starve. They want to not continually put things on your life, keep your life as high as possible. So their Gadatsu and Yamato plays can pretty much pop everything. But we can take our own life. We can ramp fast, take care of the board with Luffy Taro, play big bodies, and kind of take control of the game before they can really start doing some awesome plays. Enel's ability is also tricky. I respect Enel a lot because when they get down to 0 life on the defensive turn, they get to heal one. We're going to start off with, we lost a dice roll, we're going second. We're going to start off with a 2 for a Nico Robin blocker. We have another Nico Robin blocker. He's going to swing 5 into life. We're going to give him the other Nico Robin blocker that we have. Keep that other one active. Maybe a mistake because he could maybe Gadatsu it later. He establishes a Jewelry Bonnie. That's an interesting card that when it has a Dawn on it and he hits life, it allows him to draw 2, trash 1. We're going to leader effect ramp to 5. Swing 5 into life. And then I believe we're going to establish the Songoro. No trigger, tap 5, the Songoro. Songoro is if we are at 8 Dawn or more, and we swing, we get to draw a card. But we're not going to be at 8 Dawn next turn, so we're not going to get its effect. He's going to swing 5 into life. Here's where we're going to think about whether to give him the 1K or block. We give him the 1K. He plays the Nami, which kills a 5 cost if you trash a trigger. He trashes another Nami. It's a very troublesome card to hit off of trigger because its trigger is its on-play effect. So I'm kind of glad that he pitched one to play the other because that means there's maybe less chance we're going to see one in life. We're going to Luffy Taro into Zoro Juro. We're thinking about whether or not to grab. We're at 7 Dawn right now. No, we're at 6 Dawn, excuse me. We ramped 1 time, but we're going second. We're going to grab the 2K. We could have grabbed the big boy Luffy, but I decided to grab a 2K just to have another. Our hand was kind of not great. We do already have the 9-10 Luffy, so we don't want another one. Let's get some 2K counter. And we're going to pass. We're at 4 life. I believe he's at 2 life. We've hit him twice. Enel likes to take life pretty soon as possible. The sweet spot's probably at 2 for them. That's where you should keep them. But I always like to kind of go down to 1 just so I can threaten. He plays the Gadatsu. He can kill. Gadatsu can kill anything with a cost of 4 or higher. Maybe we should have taken an earlier life to prevent against that. But then he would have KO'd our Nico Robin blocker. So we're going to give him the blocker for the swing, and then he's going to swing 5 into life. I don't want to give him a 2K, so I'm going to let him get his Jewelry Bonnie effect off, draw 2, trash 1. We do grab a Hitokiri Kamazo, another 2K off life. So our hand right now, we have 3 2Ks, the Big Boy Luffy, and a Gum Gum Giant. Next turn we will be at 9 Dawn, I believe, or maybe we will be at 8 and we'll ramp to play the Luffy. But either way, we draw another Gum Gum Giant. I believe we are at 9 Dawn because then we can play the Luffy. Yeah, that makes sense. So we'll swing 5 into life. I want to see kind of how he plays this. He kind of has to respect because we have a lot of Dawn or a lot of rush in this deck. So he kind of has to respect it. The fact that he takes, we get him down, no trigger, we get him down to 1 life. Now I can swing this 8 into his. So the idea here is I'm going to swing 8 into his life. If he counters out, I'm going to play the rush Luffy and swing into the Nami. If he doesn't counter out, I'm swinging into his life again. Get him down to 0 life. Make him play something that heals. That's the idea. But he's going to give us 2 2Ks. So at this point, it's pointless to go after his life, but we can go after that Nami, bully it, return 1 Dawn, draw a card, we draw Zoro Juro, and we're going to swing 10 into the 5. He's going to have to let that die. He's thinking it through though, but yeah, he's going to let it die. His board's currently the Jewelry Bonnie, which he's maybe not going to swing with, and the Gidatsu. But he's got to 9 Dawn now, so this is where he can start playing. This is where like he could play 8 cost Katakuri. He could play 9 cost Yamato. Both of those things will heal. He could heal with the Katakuri, for example. The Yamato would pop it pops a combined cost of the life, so it can pop a 4 cost, but it would also heal him up to 2. He wouldn't be able to pop anything on our board, thankfully, because our costs are so high. He Raigos. This is kind of why you want to leave the Enels at 2 life, because that effect tap 6, you can kill anything, and then go down to 1 life. So he really only tapped 6 for it. He didn't get to pay the extra secondary effect because he's already at 1 life. That's why it's better to leave him at 2. But I don't regret the decisions we made, because we got some 2Ks out of hand. We really bullied him a little bit into getting some cards and put some pressure on, which you have to do in this matchup. He swings, I believe, 7 into life, and we're going to let him get his Jewelry Bonnie effect off again. Draw 2, trash 1. He pitches another Nami. That's the 3rd Nami. That's telling me a good sign, because I don't believe he has much that can pop a 5k off of trigger. Now we have to just worry about popping 4 costs. If there is any, for example, like the Egghead Luffy. I don't know if he runs that in his deck, but for the most part, I think we're safe, unless there's a 1 lucky 5 cost. We are going to Lost Search and grab a Songoro. I was kind of hoping to grab another one of those big Rush Luffys, but I think I already bottom decked one in a search, so there was 0 chance to do that. We're going to Zoro Juro. And I believe we're going to grab... We already have 2 Gum Gum Giants, so a 3rd one might be a little bit redundant. We kind of want something to play. So let's grab the Rush Sanji. Now we're going to swing 8 into the Gidatsu. Hopefully clear that. And then I believe we have 6 Dawn standing. I believe we're going to tap 5 for the Songoro, and then keep 1 up for Gum Gum Giant. Actually, no, we can't keep 1 up. This will be all of our Dawn, because we've used 1 for Lost Searcher, 1 for Zoro Juro. He gives us 0 cost event, which pitches a card, goes +3. So he saves his Gidatsu. We play the Soba Mask, or the Songoro. And our board's wide. It's not as tall as I'd like it, but it's wide. You need to go wide against Enel, because you have to have multiple swings. You have to be wary of triggers too that can pop your stuff, or a beige trigger that can make it so you can't attack. He's at all 10 Dawn, so that opens up the board for the Rush Ace. That's a really strong card that allows him to heal 1, and then it rushes, and he swings 10k into our life. But the fact that he's putting 1 Dawn on something tells me that he does not have that. He's going to swing 6 into life, and we're going to give him the 2k. I give the Usohachi because I have 1 already and want the flexibility to maybe have to play that Soba Mask blocker. He's got 9 standing. He's going to tap all 9 and play the Yamato. This is the one where he can heal 1 if he's out 1 life, I believe. But he gets to pop combined life before that, which at the time was a 3 cost. He passes. Maybe missed a Gidatsu swing. Maybe he wanted to keep it alive though, because maybe could have swung into it. He's at 2 life. Now we're going to start kind of just pressing him. We swing 6 or 7. We get the effect of Songoro, so we get to draw a card. He takes, and it's going to be a Sanji blocker, trigger blocker. He has to pitch a card to play it. He's at 3 cards in hand. I'm thinking about the plays we have. I'm swinging 8 into life. I want to see what he does with this. If he gives us the blocker, then we stop. But he gives us 2 2Ks. Now he doesn't have a lot of cards in hand. I'm thinking we might still be able to just at least press him And we can still, if we play the Sanji, we still have plenty of Dawn that we can leave over standing for Gum Gum Giants. So we're going to tap the 7. We're going to rush that, or return a Dawn, rush or rest that Sanji blocker, and then we're going to swing. I'm thinking about whether to swing 7 into life. But yes, that's what we're going to do. We're going to swing 7 to life. In theory, we can swing 3 7s for game if need be. But I want to keep those 2 Dawns standing. So we hit him once. He heals by leader ability. Now we're going to swing 7 with the Sanji, just the lowest Dawn commitment. Keep those 2 Dawn up in case for the Gum Gum Giants. If he counters out of this, then we're definitely going to keep some up. If he doesn't counter out of this, because he has 2 cards in hand, maybe we swing 7 or 8 per game. Maybe not, though. But just want to get him down to 0 life. He gives us his entire hand. So at this point, any swing would go through. I'm going to swing 5 into his Sanji blocker, though. Let's get rid of that for now. Get rid of the blocker. He has 0 cards in hand, and we have 2 standing for Gum Gum Giant. So I'm hoping he didn't top deck something like a Yamato or an Ace or a Katakuri that can heal him. That's the idea here. Hopefully he puts all his Dawn on and swings, and he swings 5 into life immediately with the Enel leader, and we give him the 1k Eustace Kid. He has a 9k swing and with the Yamato, and a 6k swing with Gidatsu. He has 1 card in hand. So we can really push for game, assuming he doesn't have crazy triggers off of life next game. And I'm hoping that, again, that's not something that's going to heal. He's thinking about where to swing this Yamato. But I'm starting to get suspicious at this point because he hasn't used any Dawn, and I feel like he would have put 1 Dawn on Julie Bonnie. He sinks 9 into the 6. I think about whether to keep it alive. I can give him 2 2Ks and still keep the Gum Gum Giants active. But I'm starting to get suspicious of the fact that he has 10 Dawn, that maybe he does have a Rush Ace. That would be an incredible top deck to get. But he could get it. And at that point, he can heal and then swing 10. So I'm thinking about what's the best way to do this. I'm going to give him the 2 2Ks. I want to keep my board as wide as possible in case there's any crazy triggers. And we can Gum Gum Giant here if he swings 10 into... pretty much if he swings 10 into one of the bigger bodies of like Sanji or Luffy Taro. He swings 6 into life. We're going to take, and we get a Luffy Taro. So now we don't have to pitch a 2K or another Gum Gum Giant if we want a Gum Gum Giant. He does get incredible top deck, 0 cards in hand. He gets the Rush Ace. He heals 1, so he's at 2 life. And he's going to swing 10. Pretty much, I think my thought process here is I'm going to protect whatever he swings into because I have the 2K. But I also think that maybe I shouldn't keep that 2, or I shouldn't give him that 2K in case he gets another, like, for example, Sanji blocker or a Burle blocker off of trigger. So that's what I'm thinking about where he goes with this swing. If he swings into the Zoro or the Songoro, I might give him to let it die. But he swings into the Sanji, which we can easily counter out of with a Gum Gum Giant. So we're going to tap 1, return 2, pitch the Luffy Taro, and draw 2. We draw into 2 blockers. So at the very end, least, if things don't go our way next turn, we can block her up. But our board's pretty wide, and he has 0 cards in hand. The only way things go bad is if he has crazy triggers, like a beige trigger or something that pops one of our things. We swing 5 into life, the lowest Dawn commitment, because any swing would go through. Now we're going to swing 7 into life. Again, he has to take that because there's no way he can counter out. And no trigger, we're getting lucky. He has to pitch a card. We're going to swing 7 life again. The only way the crazy triggers now would be like the 0 cost event to heal him or 2000 volts on Maru. And at this point, there's no trigger. He has 2 cards in hand. We could swing 9 for game, but we're just going to swing whatever. Throw it all on there and swing big. So yeah, this game kind of went our way. He didn't get that crazy of triggers. He did get the Sanji blocker, but we were able to deal with that. I think we played this to our strengths, and we were kind of lucky a little bit. Yeah, I don't know much else to say. Credit to my opponent. Thanks for tuning in. Let me know if I missed anything. Let me know if there's any questions, comments, concerns, anything I could do better. Appreciate you, and thanks for watching.